Hey guys, Michael Valentino from Crusader Caravans in Campbellfield, Victoria. Today in our handover tutorial video, we're going to be showing you how to operate the Truma Gas Heater. Only one gas heater in the caravan industry. If you've got a Crusader fitted with a gas heater, assuming you haven't made something in the backyard, this will be what you get. The Truma Gas Heater is identified because it's got the beautiful little display here that gives you a little bit more information than the average or older gas heater. The Truma Gas Heater, it's really straightforward to use. It's actually underneath our bed in the CRV Gladiator. So this is our guy here. You've got a carbon monoxide exhaust running out to the outside. We have our heat exchange in here, and then a whole heap of German engineered, lovely, fiery, carbon exuding piece of hardware happening here. So we don't fiddle with this. We don't fiddle with any of the pipes. All done, certified by our plumbers in-house. You have a gas cock underneath that is isolating the gas if you need to be able to have it worked on. It's quick and easy access, has regulation, of course. And then it runs to this little junction box where I assume you've got all of your data connectors. Again, don't touch, and then a 12-volt running supply. The fuse for the gas heater in the CRVs, for instance, is located under this little beautiful box here. It's notably distinguishable because it has, it's under a glass little or plastic little glass fuse block, and it's got a hard line wired switch. So this guy here is a fuse, and that is a hard line switch. The gas heater will run directly to that, so that way when you turn your load off inside the caravan, you're not going to be turning off all of the power directly to the unit. The unit will still remain on. So when you go out for, morning tea and it's -5 or wherever you happen to be, it'll still continue to run and keep it a nice warm igloo whilst you're away. So, how to use it? So first and foremost, this little knob under here is our temperature sensor, so that's hooked up. You have press it on. Now you can press on there like that. See, if you go back, it's got the flashing RV here with the thermostat. So that's saying that we go bang, we then can increase the temperature as to our desired amount. So 30 is my preference, bang, and then that will fire up. The really smart thing about this whilst it's running is the carbon monoxide detectors inside the heater. If it smells any carbon as it's coming through, it's obviously better than the human nose, we can't detect it, but it will turn off automatically. So it will stop running. It will error and say, hey, I don't have gas. It'll error and say, I don't have, or I can smell carbon monoxide coming in, so the outlet's around the wrong way or something like that. Normally, when these have an issue, it's normally an internal fault. You would ring your dealer, or alternatively, you'd speak to the team at Leisure Tech, and they would run you through that whole process of troubleshooting and working backwards through the process. Sometimes solenoids and whatnot can fail, but very, very rare. After it starts running, so it's a bit hard to hear with the mics, but this will start running. The heat's coming out of the end of this petition here, and it will run, and then it'll sort of slow up a bit and go and fire, and it's trying to fire a piezo to ignite the gas. If it fails, it's going to be there where it fails. So you're going to see an error, and then it'll say EH2, and obviously the fan will stop. That's telling you, hey, listen, I've got a problem. It's not going to continue to try and actually run itself. If it continues to run, we're hunky-dory. That thing runs well, it runs fine, it's running sweet. You're going to be absolutely stifling hot in the next 2-3 minutes. Just on this display, you can put some timers on there, that sort of stuff. So when it's flashing, you rotate right. So it's very minor half turn. Bang, press that. You can change the fan. So you've got auto or night. Night's obviously going to drop the fan speed. You've got your timers down here. We don't have the desire to do that. You can set your clock if you so desire. And in your settings, you've got all these bits and pieces here. The only one in the setting that will help you is the reset. If for whatever reason you happen to pull any of the cables out in some of the other vans, you can actually go into reset. So you go to reset, you go PR, hit enter. That will then run a reset diagnostic and will actually reset the unit, because sometimes, just like our fridge, like our other sources of appliances, sometimes things can just go wrong, and it will just not recognize the unit. So sometimes you have to just give it a bit of a flick in the head and it will restart. To do a quick off, you hold this down and it says off, and that turns off. To turn it back on, you can again I believe literally just turn the unit on. I don't think there's any need to actually hold it, so you literally just hold it in a bit and then it will turn on. Again, you can then set the temperature from there and pick your desired temperature, more realistic 20, back to home screen, 20's on, hold it to turn it off. it'll run, it'll get hot, it'll do its thing, you'll be steaming hot in no time. There's really not much you can do about or have to do about these units. If you're a little bit skeptical of it, you're sleeping in house with gas, so I can get people falling asleep and being a bit mindful of it. You can get yourself a CO2 detector from Bunnings with some double-sided tape or screws or whatever you want to do. Whack him up. Just be careful, obviously, spraying those with chemicals and stuff. Sometimes they can be set off with like really quite easy things like methylated spirits or pine clean or anything with a bit of heat to alcohol or anything it doesn't really like. It'd rather be oversensitive than not sensitive enough. And that is everything you need to know about a Truma gas heater. If you have any questions, queries, head to the description for all of your manuals and tutorials on the next appliance model. Otherwise, guys, we'll give you a call on the other side. Thanks so much for your time.